Hi all, welcome to this Level Up Your Game Objective guide. Separate from the initial video I posted up earlier, this is just to kind of detail what we can actually do and how we do it basically. So as you can see, obviously everything's either 7 or 6 for like nations, like players from a nation, but the way we are quite lucky, there is some combining you can do. So for example, Timo Werner you can combine with, you'd hope Alphonso Davies, but sadly you can't because you need exactly six Germans. They've been very sly about this. But Enzo Fernandez you can combine with Foyth, for example, if you wanted. But what we're going to explain though, for video sakes, what you can realistically do just now is Edison Cavani. You can do Foyth, you can do Pacho, and you can do Calhanoglu. You can do Saldilla and Fekir when the time comes, so that's not too bad, but you can't really combine much else sadly because it's minimum, like basically at least half a squad, just the way they've kind of set this up. So basically you will need to rely on having the player, and in fact, can you get Saldilla? Nah, you can't. I was just about to say you could have done Saldilla, Fekir and Enzo, but if you're going to do Foyth, for example, it's like with Enzo, depending like why you do it that way. Also depends what way approach you want to take, because you can go 6 Argentinians, but then you can't really go much else unless you go Pacho, Calhanoglu, and that's about it really. In fact, shut up, Graham. Start again. You could do, like I'm showing one squad example, but you do Enzo with Foyth, Pacho, Calhanoglu, Saldilla. I think you could do with him tomorrow, but then you could combine like Corona, say for example, with them basically. Mainly you're looking at one of the 3 nation players. I think you can't combine Davies, for example, simply because there's not enough Canadians between Bundes and Serie A to do it. I think there's only 2, I think. But yeah, this is part of the challenge that, like, if you're trying to combine players, like especially when you need 3 Canadians but exactly 3 Germans, it's little bits like that. It's like, as time goes we'll be able to have, like, not even now, but it's like when you're trying to do all the individual grinding, it's like you'll say to yourself, oh, I can combine, like, it's annoying that you've got to spend 30 games for that, 30 games for that, 30 games, 25 games for that, but then you can combine like Enzo and others, because the easiest way really is Cavani, like Foyth, Pacho, Calhanoglu, basically. That's the best approach. You could get Saldilla in, and then that way you'd, but I don't think like realistically you can't because of nation link up, as it were. So most of the moment is, for what I've seen, is 4. Now I'm going to show the squad is an explanation of this. So basically Musso, Palacios and Alario are the 3 Argentines that you need to get Foyth done. Because of Bundesliga you've got Palacios, Alario and Salazar, so that gives you your 3 Bundesliga. Because of Uruguay we've got Salazar, Oliveira and Vecino, that gets Cavani done. And then because of Musso, Oliveira and Vecino, that allows Calhanoglu to get done. So we've only got Corona there just as an extra, but I'm sure with a bit more, like, not necessarily thought process, it's more a because the card type is now there to actually search, which makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, they've not really, how do we put this in a nice way, made it easy for us to kind of get the cards and some of them aren't boosted as appealing as some. So it's, you say to yourself, why would I want that card? Like I've only just put the highest rated version. I think I've put the highest rated version. No, I haven't. Like it's a bit flawed, because even in an ideal way, it would have been neat if you could have just put all of them in one squad, like all like 11 level up players, and take like 50 games or 30 games or whatever just to get everything. Then we could understand that. But the challenge of buying the players or whatever, like Sterling as an SBC to get a better version, like I think people would rather have that, especially when we had it for footballers. And this is basically a carbon copy. It's just the sheer level of grind at the stage of the game to get certain cards is a bit tedious. But yeah, see how you go about it. As I say, when you look at the guide there with what you can do player wise, and then when you kind of look over, as I say, Calhanoglu is you've got to initially do through squad battles, rivals or champs, as we explained in the initial guide. So to get Calhanoglu in isn't a problem, it's just how, like, what else you kind of combine on top in the meantime to kind of get your foot in the door, as it were. Because the other approach that you could take while doing Calhanoglu, if you wanted, for example, you could do Pacho, you could do Foyth, you could do Corona and Cavani. You can get Enzo if you obviously packed Enzo, but you're probably more realistically looking at the lower priced ones realistically, just to get your foot in the door. Like 3 players just for a group reward, it's kind of shocking. Like that pack alone should be like a, I don't mean to sound cheeky, but like a 30 times like 87 or 90 or something. Like for the amount of games you're having to put in, it should be at like, or in fact it should be like 100 times like 87 pack or something, or however many, like 87 plus cards, or 100 times 86. But yeah, that's actually maybe a thought. Pacho, Foyth, Corona, Cavani. Like, the only thing is, you've then got to then make sure for the Bundesliga players that you've covered Argentina. Like there's no Mexicans, but there is obviously Uruguay, so you've got that to fall back on. You probably could maybe even get Davis will not be cheap for his 93, come on, be realistic. But there's definitely ways around it to kind of give you a little bit of like other ones you can do in the meantime when you're trying to get Calhanoglu unlocked, as it were. So there's definitely ways around it, it's just trying to get a system in place. So I'll put a written guide with this as well, just to make it a little bit easier. I've already tweeted out an example, but I'll put a tweet out as well, just to kind of show what can be done, like combinations as well. So hopefully you find this useful, and we'll take it from there. So any questions, folks, let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. But see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. So everyone, folks, take it easy on. I'll speak to you all later.